last night, Zohran Mamdani had a debate with Andrew Cuomo and some other guy. It doesn't matter. Nobody cares. But mostly between Zohran Mamdani and Andrew Cuomo.
Mr. Cuomo, in 2021, 13 different women who worked in your administration credibly accused you of sexual harassment. Since then, you have spent more than $20 million in taxpayer funds to defend yourself, all while describing these allegations as entirely political. You have even gone so far as to legally go after these women. One of those women, Charlotte Bennett, is here in the audience this evening. You sought to access her private gynecological records. She cannot speak up for herself because you lodged a defamation case against her. I, however, can speak. What do you say to the 13 women that you sexually harassed?
If you want to be in government, then you have to be serious and mature.
Damn. It's like those old Looney Tune cartoons where you're like, and the steam shoots out of his neck. Well, you're a little inexperienced, Mr. Mamdani. So what? I don't think he had much to say to those 13 women that he was accused of harassing and assaulting and all those other allegations. One of them actually responded to it over on X after she saw this whole thing go down. Her name is Lindsay Boylan. She said, "I am one of these women," she posted. "I've been legally abused by Andrew Cuomo for years after being harassed as his staffer. Now he wants to be mayor. Shame on you, Cuomo, and thank you, Zohran Mamdani, for speaking out on this injustice." It's just not looking good. This was specifically about this back and forth and this debate here, where I feel like the shots just kept coming for Andrew Cuomo, and he apparently never really caught on to the fact that he was beaten and bruised and probably should have stayed in his corner and thrown in that towel.
We first just heard from the Republican candidate for mayor, and then we heard from Donald Trump's puppet himself, Andrew Cuomo. You could turn on TV any day of the week, and you will hear Donald Trump share that his pick for mayor is Andrew Cuomo. And he wants Andrew Cuomo to be the mayor, not because it will be good for New Yorkers, but because it will be good for him.
It's kind of hard to deny that. I mean, when you got Donald Trump, who's desperate to make sure that Zohran Mamdani doesn't end up as the mayor of New York, he has to keep talking. That's all Donald Trump does. He has to talk about and promote someone because he thinks people like his ass. People are afraid of him, which is also puzzling to me, but he thinks that they like his ass. So he's like, yeah, Andrew Cuomo, having no idea how bad that would look for Andrew Cuomo, who doesn't really need much help to really look bad, except for the assistance that Mamdani kept giving him all night to look really bad.
You will hear from Andrew Cuomo about his experience as if the issue is that we don't know about it. The issue is that we have all experienced your experience. The issue is that we experienced you taking a $5 million book deal while you sent seniors to their deaths in nursing homes. The issue is that we experienced you cutting funding for the MTA to send money to upstate ski resorts. The issue is that we saw you give $959 million in tax breaks to Elon Musk. The issue is your experience.
No, the only thing, the issue is...
Damn, like straight up. So if none of that was true, you'd probably, push back on it and say that, none of that is true. It just he went back to deflecting and going to the next topic and the next one after that. The issue with your experience is that we all experienced. Damn. He whooped his ass all up and down and all over the place. Now, I read a couple of articles that talked about the fights and back and forth that they had, but I don't think anybody can really look at Andrew Cuomo there and be like, that's our guy. The guy that Donald Trump said he wants to be mayor. And even Donald Trump at this point admitted that, it looks like he's not going to win. So therefore, I'm going to take over New York. Yeah, Donald Trump actually did say that. Everything that happens in New York has to go through this White House, he said, because now he's desperate. He's a dictator. And he's like, the foot soldier that I wanted to be in place to continue to do nothing for the city, that guy's getting his ass whooped. Here's the last clip of that guy getting his ass whooped.
Now, it is always a pleasure to hear Andrew Cuomo create his own facts at every debate stage. We just had a former governor say in his own words that the city has been getting screwed by the state. Who was leading the state? It was you.
Governor Hochul.
You were leading the state for
Governor
10 years,
Hochul.
screwing the city.
No.
You cut
You
homelessness
as a
funding.
legislator.
You cut funding for the
You
MTA.
as a
You did all of these things, my
That's
friend.
the past 4 years. It's the past 4 years.
When you find yourself on the defensive this much over factually based arguments about what is that happened from the experience that people have had under you, and you're talking about how bad the state and city has been run, and you were a formal official of it, formerly the governor of the entire state, it sets yourself up for these body blows and uppercuts and right hooks to the chin. But this was surprising. I saw someone post this. I don't know if this was before the debate or after, but this was posted. They said just yesterday, they said that this was posted to Andrew Cuomo's social media account.
Zohran Mamdani's opponents want you to believe he's an inexperienced radical whose policies will make New York City more dangerous. But what do his actual supporters think?
Mamdani isn't crazy.
He's just trying to even the playing field.
You know, give everyone a fair shot. Sure, he said multiple times we need to defund the police, but that was just a metaphor.
And yes, he did say crime is a social construct, but that was also a metaphor.
His main backer, the Democratic Socialists' ideas are common sense, such as
decriminalizing misdemeanors like shoplifting,
third-degree assault,
Trespassing, prostitution,
And drunk driving.
with plans to decriminalize all drugs. Mamdani will be a job creator for drug dealers.
Instead of helping us homeless get off the streets and into the mental health facilities we need, he wants to give us safe injection sites to do crack and let us sleep in subway carts.
These are actual policies Mamdani and the DSA want to implement on day one.
When a woman's being domestically abused, she finally won't have to deal with some pesky cop to arrest the abuser, but now a social worker to help, kumbaya the situation.
Breathe in. Breathe out.
Mamdani is finally lowering jail sentences.
Guilty!
But Mamdani says you're free to go. Who cares if legalizing prostitution statistically leads to an increase for sex trafficking of women and young girls by 70%?
You can't have safety without equality.
For unlawful abiding citizens like us, globalize the intifada.
I'm a criminal. I'm a criminal. I'm a criminal.
I'm a criminal.
Yep. I'm a criminal. For Zohran.
for Zohran Mamdani.
I didn't have a real job until I was 30, but sure, give me the keys to the city. What's the worst that can happen?
Paid for by Cuomo for NYC.
Really? Like, I'm still not sure if I believe that he was a part of that. I ran the whole thing over 2 minutes long. Because there's usually be like, oh, maybe I'll run this guy's ads. That's so damaging for Andrew Cuomo. I was like, there's no way. There's 0% chance he was any kind of way connected to that. I refused to believe it. So I looked it up. Maybe the Guardian's lying because they said New York City mayoral hopeful Andrew Cuomo has been widely labeled as racist after his official X account posted and then deleted an AI-generated ad depicting criminals for Zohran Mamdani. Not even 20 minutes into the second mayoral debate, Cuomo's official account tweeted that video. It was during that debate where he was getting his ass kicked. It was reshared by many more than before it was deleted. Maybe some staffers were like, abort mission. We totally thought that this AI-generated video that depicted a pimp, a rapist, a drunk driving old lady, who else did he have in there? Just a street crime, someone getting robbed, a homeless guy on the street talking about how he wants to shoot up more drugs. There was probably 5 or 6 other instances and racist little insinuations in there of the pimp opening up a van with a bunch of white girls inside that he was trafficking. I think the thought was, oh, We were supporting Zohran Mamdani, but we didn't realize that we're all criminals. The same thing that this president is saying, the same thing that his press secretary is saying, the same thing that Mike Johnson is saying when it came to that No Kings protest. All these people are supportive terrorists and criminals. The same thing that Stephen Miller is saying. Andrew Cuomo just endorsed all of those things that they've been saying. Man, why didn't he just stay home? It's really weird. That was amazing. That was amazing. And it was an AI video. Because, I'm not sure if he thought people would believe it or if they thought it was going to be funny, because there was what they thought would be some comical moments in there as he depicts a rape scene. And a black guy in a store putting a mask on his face before he then goes and robs the place. That's wild. That was crazy. That can't be real life. I mean, it wasn't. It was AI.